I'm Barack Obama, and I don't approve of anything that you're about to hear. Welcome to the Halloween Election Day Breeders' Cup edition of And They're Off. Joining me today is my good friend, Governor Mitt Romney.
Somebody get this guy a teleprompter, please. Well, we're about to start our little shtick here with the election growing nearer. Fellow Americans, the election is growing nearer. The Breeders' Cup is growing nearer. And we would like to share with you our favorite Breeders' Cup horses. And let's start.
Worth repeating.
He's had enough. What's the chances?
Slim, Shady. Commander.
I'll give you two. Hazardous and Switch.
Rising Legend.
Turbulent Descent. Handsome Mitt.
That's Handsome Mike, you idiot.
Close enough. Lines of Battle.
Game on, dude. I'd love to stand here all day and insult you. Unfortunately, I have fed Biz trying to prevent a great attack.
You can't even balance the books. Super 99. Number of electoral votes you're going to get.
What's the chances I have video of you in lingerie? I have star billing. You are just a title contender.
Wise Dan Quayle makes you look like a kindergarten kid.
I'm invoking executive privilege and ending this bit. You're in California. This is my territory. See you November 6th.
Yes, looking forward to it.
All right. Hey, it's really us. I really don't approve of this message.
Where are we? Where
Hey, you
are
look
we?
good. You look much better. All right. Let's move on to the Breeders' Cup, guys. A lot is being made about home field advantage here at Santa Anita, especially how it pertains to one Bob Baffert. All things being equal, is it easier to run one 100 yards from your barn than flying one 3,000 miles? Yeah, of course it is. But Baffert's real advantage is he knows this racing surface better than anybody in the world. And that being said, Bob Baffert is still right when he says you still need the horse.
Yes, but Bob Baffert does not lose at Santa Anita. Bob Baffert's horses run magically at this place. So he might say that, and you do need the horse, but he always seems to have the horse.
Well, yeah, but the other thing about Bob Baffert is, you know, he has to ship to the Triple Crown every year. You know, he doesn't bellyache about having to go to Churchill or having to go to Pimlico and having to go to Belmont. He runs at Saratoga. He sends them all over the place. So, you know what? Suck it up. Yeah, it's his home ground. He's got a lot of good horses. He's going to take some beating. You know, that's the way it goes.
Well, he has nothing to apologize for. Yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to complain about that, let him stay home. I mean, it's, you know, it is his track. Churchill Downs is not his track. He's done well there, but the Breeders' Cup's been there. The Breeders' Cup's been at Belmont. It's been a lot of other places. Yeah. So every few years it comes here. Yeah. So come here and beat him.
Well, and watch out, because after Secret Circle last year, they didn't run well for him. I think he's due for a big one. He's got about 11 in here. He's in 8 races. Over-under time. The over and under the amount of wins Bob Baffert gets on Breeders' Cup Day.
I'll go with 3.
Ah, that's funny you should say. I have it at 3.5.
3.5,
yeah,
okay.
I think it's very possible he lands 4 out of this.
Now, does he get extra points, by the way, for running 1, 2, 3 in the races he has multiple horses in?
Maybe if he dead heats for the win, he gets extra points for that.
Maybe he'll run 1, 2, 3 in the sprint alone.
We'll see what happens with the white-haired wonder, Bob Baffert. Other big news in Breeders' Cup, of course, is the Lasix prohibition in the 2-year-old races this year for the first time. It's definitely drawing its share of whining from a lot of people. Now, while people are making a big deal out of entries being down in the juvenile and the juvenile fillies a little bit, however, let me note that in the 2 juvenile turf races, one had 18 free entries and one had 19 free entries.
Yeah, it's like horses don't bleed on the grass.
Yeah, I mean, is it that different? I mean, come on, guys. You know, this. Do you think maybe Dreaming of Julia and Kawaii Katie and Executive Privilege and the Mandela horse may have a little bit to do with not that many in the juvenile fillies?
Yes, and you got the traveling involved as well. You got a racetrack that a lot of the Eastern horses usually don't do well at. But in fact, I was talking to Bob earlier about the Lasix issue, and what he said makes a very good point. He says that there are more people, including most of the trainers, who are pro-Lasix, but their voice is not as large as the people who are against the use of Lasix. So you could have a larger voice, but not as strong a voice.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that trainers as a group want to keep on doing what they've been doing and not make radical changes. There's no question about that. And you can understand that from a human nature point of view. But, the other thing is it's about time we started getting some of these drugs out of these horses. So I congratulate Breeders' Cup for taking this stand at a time while all the state racing commissions are just dragging their feet and kicking the can down the road. They haven't done anything.
A lot of people are against it, too, feel that the Breeders' Cup is not the place to experiment with something like this, that maybe they should try this out somewhere else before they implement something like this on such a large scale.
Nobody else is doing it, though. Nobody else is willing to do it.
I know, I know.
Well, the thing I really love is the big mouths who take a stand about giving horses fewer drugs. Good for you. Feel free to pass up a $2 million race so you can run third in $100 grand there at Churchill Downs. We really miss you here quite a bit. Nothing to say on that. Okay.
Well, listen, I nothing need to be said about that.
You know what? This is the World Championship. Show up and run, People showed up and ran on synthetic. People show up and run under, raging thunderstorms at Monmouth. I mean, this is it. This is where it goes. You don't get to pick.
Listen, difference in principles is what makes the world go round.
Steve, your little song, please. Go ahead.
No, that's enough.
All right. And we know you've all been waiting for our picks here. Steve thinks the pick six actually applies to the amount of horses he picks in one race. It doesn't work like that, Steve. It's 6 separate races. But you've been here all week. Tell us a couple of your horses to watch out for in the Breeders' Cup.
Well, I'll tell you this morning, and I'm not picking this horse, but I just want to say that this morning I watched Nonios put in a half-mile work in 46-2, and he did it easily, and he came back unbelievable, and the horse physically looks incredible. So he's a horse that you might want to look at, as the 3-year-old representative that might pick up a piece of it. But I tell you, one trainer who's got a ton of horses here that look very live that you don't usually think of or talk about is Mark Casse. And Mark Casse, I watched Pool Play go out this morning, and he's just an absolute beautiful physical specimen, and he just looked great, and he's an interesting horse. He's run 32 times in his life and is undefeated on the dirt in 2 starts. So we don't know what to expect from him. But if I have to give my best bet of the day, I tell you, a horse that I really, really like is one of Mark Casse's horses, and that is Spring Venture in the Juvenile Fillies Turf. She's got an unbelievable burst of speed. I just love the way she won all of her races. I love the way she beat her stablemate, Spring in the Air, who came back and won the Alcibiades. And I think this filly could be very, very special. He's also got a horse in the dirt mile named Delegation that nobody knows anything about. But from the time this horse was a baby, everybody has said this horse is some kind of a special freak type of horse. So who knows? I think he could run very well. And there's a few others that I'm looking at. But
well, just in case I'm right, I need to pick a couple.
Oh, you're picking two?
Just for the year-end show, I can have something to hang my hat on. Trainer Chad Brown says Awesome Feather reminds him a lot of Ginger Punch, who he saddled in Bobby Frankel's absence to win the Distaff in 2007 at Monmouth. I'm going to say that's good enough for me. Awesome Feather, of course, in against the defending champ Royal Delta, but she is undefeated. She does have that brilliance to her, and I'm going to go with Awesome Feather in the Ladies Classic. And I'm also going to go with Marketing Mix in the Filly and Mare Turf.
Bombs away.
She's been in Southern California. Well, she's in against Europeans. She's not going to be the favorite.
No, but she'll be one of the favorites.
All right. So you and your 80 picks are going to criticize me.
80 picks. What about 80 picks?
All right. Thanks to everybody. Hope you have a great Breeders' Cup. We want to thank the skipper for stepping into Stable Boy. Stable Boy, hey, back in Kentucky, we missed you here. Thanks, Darby Dan Farm. Everybody have a great Breeders' Cup this weekend.
Have fun, everyone, and please forgive us for our opening bit.
See you, Mitt.